Have you ever looked around and just wondered, why do some people seem to amass wealth almost effortlessly, while others work their fingers to the bone and still struggle to get by? Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're investigating the hidden causes of wealth. We're going to look way beyond the usual suspects and explore a completely fascinating theory about what really separates the ultra-rich from the rest of us.
So is the secret simply luck? I want you to really think about this for a second. We see this massive, sometimes completely unexplainable gap between those who seemingly snap their fingers and get rich and those who grind day in and day out but stay poor. Is the universe just playing favorites? Is it just a roll of the cosmic dice? Well, it's really tempting to think so, but the evidence points to something much more complex.
Or hey, what if the secret is in education? We're always told to go to school, get a good degree, the whole shebang. But wait, we all know brilliant, highly educated people who are totally broke, right? So if it's not just luck, and it's not just a fancy piece of paper, could the secret be hardwired into who we are? Could it be our personality? Some experts strongly believe that a person's core personality dictates their decisions, their working style, and ultimately their entire financial destiny.
So, if we're playing detective here, we need a prime suspect. Could it be that having a thinking, or T, personality type is absolutely necessary? If you look at psychological frameworks like the MBTI, the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, people are categorized into different behavioral profiles. And there's one specific profile that just keeps popping up over and over when we look at extreme wealth: the thinking personality. Let's unpack exactly what this means.
The thinking, or T type, is basically someone who makes decisions based almost entirely on logic, deep analysis, and concrete facts. They don't let their heart rule their head. This incredibly analytical mind naturally loves problem solving. They thrive on looking at a chaotic situation, finding the underlying patterns, planning for the future, and meticulously calculating risks. They don't just guess, right? They compute.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how perfectly these T-trades map onto the most lucrative industries on the planet. We're talking business, technology, engineering, investment. These aren't just everyday jobs. These are high-stakes arenas where unemotional logic, data-driven strategy, and ruthless efficiency are heavily rewarded. Logical minds achieve massive financial success here because, to them, business is like a giant, complex puzzle that they're uniquely equipped to solve.
And hey, if you want proof of this theory out in the wild, just consider the absolute titans of industry. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. We literally use their products every single day. Analysts constantly point out that their thought processes, their public personas, and their relentless business strategies are deeply rooted in that hyper-analytical, logical, thinking personality profile. It's a pretty undeniable pattern.
But hold on, the story doesn't end there. We need some narrative balance here, because humanity isn't just made up of calculating machines. Let's explore the total opposite, the power of the feeling, or F personality. If the T-type is all about the head, while the F-type is all about the heart, and to truly grasp the dynamics of wealth and success, we absolutely have to understand what makes the F-type tick.
Enter the feeling type. These are individuals who prioritize the emotions of others, human connections, and deep empathy when they have to make a choice. Rather than just staring at a spreadsheet or relying on pure, cold logic, they look at the human cost. They are deeply, innately driven by this intense desire to help others, to uplift their communities, and to create a lasting, positive social impact.
Naturally, this leads them down a wildly different career path. Think about social service, education, healthcare, welfare work. These are absolutely the unsung heroes of our society. F-types gravitate towards these professions because they fundamentally rely on human service, empathy, and genuine connection as their core pillars. They are incredibly rich in purpose, but historically speaking, these aren't exactly the fields that consistently mint billionaires, are they?
And this brilliantly illustrates the great divide we're talking about today. On one side, you have logic, analysis, and business focus. On the other, empathy, human connection, and social service. It's a crystal clear contrast in natural human strengths. One is seemingly built from the ground up to accumulate capital, while the other is built to accumulate social good. It kind of makes the whole mystery of wealth seem perfectly solved by psychology, doesn't it?
Well, before we declare the case closed, we need to take a step back and look at the real truth: hard work and skill. I want to be incredibly clear here, just grounding this whole thing in reality. There is absolutely no strong, definitive scientific proof that T-types are biologically destined to be ultra-rich or that F-types are doomed to be poor. Wealth is not just a personality trait, it's something you build, and it's definitely not made from psychology alone.
So the crucial point is, building wealth is actually a massive multi-step journey. It takes hard work, just the sheer everyday grind. It requires highly developed skills and education to navigate the world. It involves the luck of spotting an opportunity, the grit of absolute discipline, and making consistently smart financial decisions over decades. A comprehensive, disciplined strategy is what actually builds wealth. You can literally be the most logical person on earth, but if you lack discipline or opportunity, you simply won't build an empire.
The real secret isn't agonizing over which personality label you happen to be born with. It's about exactly how you choose to leverage your innate abilities. If you're a T-type, your playbook is to strengthen that analytical thinking and apply it to complex, high-value problems. But if you're an F-type, your playbook is to use your deep empathy to build massive networks, connect with consumers on a profound level, and lead teams with incredible loyalty. Both sets of traits can absolutely be leveraged for massive success.
But is it really that simple? Let's bring this full circle and ask, is personality really everything? We just established that hard work and strategy are the true engines of wealth. We agreed that anyone can leverage their traits, so logically, we should see an equal number of highly empathetic billionaire social workers and highly logical billionaire tech founders, right? Actually, scratch that, we don't. Is there an undeniable pattern we're just trying to politely ignore?
Because here is the ultimate paradox. If personality isn't the deciding factor, why do thinking traits, that cold logic, that calculated risk-taking, that relentless focus on data over feelings, appear over and over and over again among the absolute most successful billionaires in the world? We did our reality check, sure, but the overwhelming evidence at the very top of the wealth pyramid still points straight back to that T personality.
Which brings us to our final lingering question for today's explainer. Is it really necessary to have a T personality to become ultra-rich in this world? Or can anyone with literally any personality truly conquer the financial system with just the right strategy? It's a fascinating contradiction between what psychology suggests, what fairness demands, and what the billionaire lists actually show us. So, think about your own traits and where they're leading you. We'll continue unraveling mysteries like this in future explainers. Thanks so much for joining us today.